Hey everyone, it's Dane from leadgenerationtechniques101.com and 5figuremethod.com. That's 5 as in the number 5. I'm just going to do a real quick video here. This video assumes that you've already changed your domain name servers information on your registrar, where you've registered your domain name and that you already have the domain name, that you've already purchased it, and that you already have it set and you have it pointing to your host. That's a whole other video. I'll do a video on that as well. But once you have the domain name in place and you have it pointing, you have the name servers pointing to your web host, in other words, the web host where you're going to host your actual website files, then you want to know how you add that domain name to your web host. So I have several web hosts, but I have, on this particular one, I have unlimited hosting, so I can host as many websites as I want, and I can put websites up for each individual domain that I have, and I can set the files and have them operate as separate websites. So what you would do, anyways, if you have a control panel, you would go into your control panel. Usually in your control panel, with this, you would have something like Domain Central. There'd be a button like this. So that's where all your domain names that you have set up on this web host, that's where they would all be organized. So you would click on that. This is where you would have to add your domain name. You would go in here. There's a few options. Search my domain names, register new domain name. That's if you wanted to register a domain name through your host. Add existing. You own a domain name somewhere else, so you want to click add existing. It's one that you own. So you would put in your domain name in here. You would type it in exactly as it is. Make sure you've got it correct with the correct extension, .com, .net, whatever. Once you do that, you would click add, and it would add them down in here. So if we take a look at one like bassguitarsource.com, it's a website that I'm currently setting up. So you would click on that. And if you look in here, basically it shows the domain name exactly as we have it. Then there's these options: overview, pointers, transfer, all this stuff. You don't really have to worry about anything in here. This is unlimited hosting, so the only thing I'm interested in doing is setting that domain name that I already own, setting it to point to a particular subdirectory. Because it's unlimited hosting, I want it to point to a subdirectory. So in your FTP, where you have all these, where you connect to your web host, you would have a a directory or a folder set up that says, bassguitarsource.com or whatever you want to call it, because it's only really for your eyes. It's not anything that the public's going to see. But whatever that directory is where you want to install your files, you would have to create that directory. Okay, so the directory is right there. This is the directory that I created in my FTP, bassguitarsource.com. And so there's a home directory, subdirectory, etc., etc. The only thing you need to be concerned about if you have unlimited hosting and you have multiple websites that you're setting up is you would select subdirectory, bassguitarsource, or wherever the directory was that you created. You would put it in exactly as it shows on your FTP, and you would click save. So now that domain name that you own, you have it pointed to your web host. You have it on a subdirectory or under a folder called Bass Guitar Source. That's where you would install your WordPress files, your static HTML files, or whatever files that you're going to put under there, your landing pages, your squeeze page information, whatever, you would put it under there. And when somebody goes and punches in www.bassguitarsource.com, as long as there's an index file in there, it's going to show that file, show your website, show your WordPress site, whatever. So that's as simple as that is. Stay tuned. I'll probably put together a video showing people how they can change the name servers at their domain registrar. In other words, the place where they've registered the domain name, how they can change the name servers to point to their web host. Anyways, that's a quick video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.